guy Keto 2. This is a life review. Hey there everybody, and thank you for visiting addshot. If this is your first time or you are returning, we appreciate you viewing. All video and music made from scratch. Alright, well it's going to be a day today, and as we get a launch going, all events will lead to the Skydio 2 crash later on in the day. I'd like to also deliver a little Keto 101 because, hey, like many of us out there, maybe our health is, having a little issue. We can't stop doing some certain things. We don't have motivation enough to quit eating nasty foods and, start a healthier way of life and a healthier diet. So why not just get into that topic? I lost 55 pounds on the keto diet. I started last year in December in 2019, and it's been a good ride. So, I could just share my experience with you, share my 101. All right, well, first things first, though, let's get the Skydio 2 launch. And there we go, a nice clean flight. It's always going to turn back and to the left and turn around and get me into frame. Instantly gets the motion track going. Let's get on the bike and get moving. Setting off in a sweet pair of pants and headband. We're going to get on rolling. I got GoPros mounted on the seat post, on the handlebars, and down here by the shocks. And this will be a cool ride. We also have, again, these heads-up views, which we can monitor, the speed of the drone, the distance it is away from me, how far and how high it is up off the ground. Of course, all leading to a crash near the end. So look at this, beautiful. Love how the Skydio 2 just keeps up with me. Everything is just going well. A beautiful day, the sun is out. After a good rain, the air is clear. And I'm gonna get my pedaling going. Maybe you've seen in the last few videos, I sort of revealed a couple of shots where I had a few extra chins and things were just a little bit on the more larger side. Not that that's a problem, but my health was probably getting to be a concern for me. And as you can see, this was one of the videos that set it off for me. The moment I saw this, I just sort of hit it for myself. I was like, let's just do something about it. You've been just sort of going full steam ahead with everything in life and enjoying it and, being very active the whole time. But I was just always that big guy, like able to do anything. I could run fast, I could do mountain biking and snowboarding and all of it. So we appear to be having a droney fail here, but no worries, we'll recover it. Now, I in no way consider myself to be a doctor. I'm just one man who had a good experience on this particular diet. I do suggest that if you need to, please talk to a health professional. But one thing you're going to have to gather is going to be some motivation. And motivation can come in all forms. What gets me out to do the things I do? Well, different things pull me in different directions. However, getting onto a healthy eating diet, that is a tough one. The key is that you have to punish yourself, okay? You've gotten to a point in your life where you've gone way beyond your means, and it's time to enforce the punishment, okay? You've got to be upset. You need to somehow justify getting on this diet. So what do? You have to convince yourself or be mad at yourself for what you've done. You've let yourself get out of control. Your health is at stake. You got to do something about it. So you know what? That was my motivation, was you say, you know what, you're going to get on this diet and you're going to try it, and it's not easy. Yeah, sure, you got to cut all grains out, you got to cut all sugars out. So there's a lot of things that make this very difficult. I mean, this is Keto 101, to explain to you the diet regimen, which is basically cutting out most grains, rices, breads, things like that, focusing more on whole foods, of course, not processed foods. We're talking about more vegetables that are within the guidelines of keto. You have to cut out most root vegetables. We're talking about potatoes and carrots, other things, sweet potatoes, things that you do love but are packed with carbs, and you just need to kind of avoid carbs and sugar. So I became, sort of obsessed with reading labels and looking at things. If I'm ever buying something, I have to know, am I overdoing it on carbs or sugar? As long as you keep it in those guidelines, you can be good. And how does one give up sugar? Are you kidding me? Well, the reality is giving up sugar is not so hard. You just have to narrow your sweet tooth down to something different. So you can have berries in small quantity, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. So in small quantity, your sweet tooth can be, satisfied by some of these things. You also can have dark chocolate, anything over 70%. For me, I'm like up to the 95, 100% dark chocolate bars, and I just love it. So let's get into the basis of the diet, which is basically turning your normal diet on its head, taking away all the carbs and giving you a high fat diet. So you're focusing on getting foods that have high healthy fats, obviously things like avocados, eggs, changing some of the ways you cook, like introducing coconut oil into your cooking and actually eating coconut and coconut milk. These things are just high fat content. It's what you want. You want to get your body into ketosis so that it breaks down the excess fat in your body and the fat you're eating and converts it to energy, okay? Because you have no more carbs coming in, so your body needs to do something. Well, our bodies naturally have the ability to break things down, change them into energy. So instead of just grabbing that easy energy, the carbs, the sugar, the junk, it just grabs what it needs. Okay, so you have all this excess carbs and sugar in your system. That could never be good. And so what happens is you just start stockpiling it. It's just like a giant stockpile that never stops going away. And that's why people just grow large in the society, is because it's basically a sugar epidemic. Everybody wants to just treat the problems you have instead of figuring out where it came from. But sugar and carbs, you just, in moderation, everything in moderation. My food scale would probably be different because I wouldn't put, breads at such a large portion. Once I get off the keto diet, I'll probably go back to having some grains and breads, of course, but in smaller quantities. I'm not going to make every, meal between 2 slices of bread, which is what I was doing. So here we go. This is it. This is the final run here where we're going to see what happens here with Skydio 2. So let me set a little bit of background here. What's happening is the SD card is getting full, dangerously full. And when we notice on some of the heads-up view, we're going to see an icon of the Skydio 2 appear on the viewfinder. So here we go. There's an image of the Skydio 2 as it goes right there careening into a tree. Now that was fast. So here we go. We look again. We see the image of the Skydio 2 drone, like a little grayed out image in the right. And then basically the Skydio 2 continues forward and goes right into the tree branches. So basically this SD card is full. Okay, the calculations now moving forward are obstructed possibly? Is the Skydio's thinking off? Why didn't it just go down below the trees and follow me? We don't know, but it did go right into these trees. Obstruction, everything down. And look at me, just cruising on down, not a care in the world, just flying. Drones somewhere behind me. But here we go, I'm starting to get a sense of what's going on as the alerts are coming in. I'm getting some beeps. The phone is indicating a lost connection. It's time to turn around and head back and figure out where my little buddy is. So as we head back on down the road, I wasn't expecting to have to backtrack and, get this extra workout. So this is what you get, but at least I'm out here. I'm getting my exercise. This is the whole point, is that with my whole keto diet, I felt like I reached a plateau. And now it's time to throw in the exercise in there. Literally for the first year, I did no exercising whatsoever. I was in a full ketosis stage and my body was melting fat away, minus 55 pounds. You gotta love it. I'm now a lighter frame, I have more energy, I'm ready to do more things. And so this is great. So let's just continue going. Here's my drone, poor little guy, crashed. Don't know what to say. I'm real bummed about it. But let's look into it. All flight logs and content surrounding the crash have been sent to the manufacturer. Let's see what happened. Let's see if it was thin tree branches or if there was actually a fail with the SD card running out of room just prior to the crash. So, maybe they can look deeper and find out to see if a problem can be solved. I appreciate you tuning in today. Please share if you can, and stay tuned to see what happens if this thing ever flies again. Hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. There's more to come. Please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.